England has witnessed an explosion of crop circle activity since the late 1970s, particularly across the rolling plains of Wiltshire, Hampshire and Oxfordshire. To date, there have been over 10,000 recorded crop circle formations in the UK alone, some very simple, but some staggeringly complex. Crooked Sole in 2002, a complex DNA double helix spiral rendered with over 300 individual circles. Chilbolton Observatory, 2001, and the Arecibo Reply, a binary message mimicking a 1974 signal to space. Crabwood, 2002, a humanoid face and binary disk message interpreted by some as a warning from an extraterrestrial source. Martinsell Hill, 2009, with interlocking circles echoing ancient Celtic motifs. Pusey White Horse in 2010, a sevenfold floral structure believed to reference consciousness expansion. Hackpen Hill, 2012, a 3D isometric cube rendered with perfect shadow and light illusion. Oliver's Castle, 1994, subject of a debated video claiming to capture its formation in seconds. Bearbury Castle, 1991, and one of the first to introduce layered intersecting symmetries. Many formations vanish within days, leaving only grainy photos and theories, but taken together, they form a visual language. And, as it turns out, it's a mathematical one. It's symbolic, and it's strangely persistent. At Bearbury Castle in 2008, a spiral appeared that encoded the mathematical constant of pi.
One formation had everyone baffled, and people were saying, well, what is this? Then a mathematician had a look at it and said, wait a minute, that's a representation of pi, and it's correct, down to 10 decimal places.
Pi, of course, defines the relationship between a circle's circumference and its diameter, roughly 3.14159, and then the decimal points extend indefinitely. This formation divided a circle into 10 equal slices of 36 degrees. Starting at the centre of this, a spiral jumps outwards. There are 3 segments, then a small circle. The circle is the decimal. Then 1 segment, then 4, then 1, then 5, then 9, 3.14159, etc. Each jump precisely aligned, forming a visual countdown of pi's digits. It was quite literally a coded spiral of universal proportions. In 1996, a formation near Stonehenge replicated the Julia set, a mathematical fractal. Fractals are patterns that repeat endlessly, revealing more complexity. Now, depending on how the sequence behaves, whether it escapes into infinity or whether it stays stable, then you get intricate, infinitely detailed boundaries. This formation laid out that fractal in the real world, circle by circle and node by node. More than art, it was plotted. It's a physical expression of iterative math. Not all circles are abstract. Some suggest the schematics of machines.
I want to know what you did. First of all, when did it come to you that it was essentially a schematic on how to build this drive? I mean, how did that come to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. In talking with Nicola, who had originally decoded the first circle, I said to him, first of all, what are we looking at? And we discussed things like the klystron, the fact that it seemed to have boundary conditions for some electromagnetic fields. So then we thought that means there might be magnets involved, that we might have to generate our own electrical field.
Well, when you have klystrons, you have magnets, right?
We got to testing the plasma ignition system. That would have been the heart of the device. And we were doing it in we were trying to get a steady kind of stream of plasma there so we could bend it with the magnets. This is the idea.
Introducing the Eerie's Vault Patreon page, a treasure trove of research notes, newspaper and magazine clippings, exclusive on-location video content, early access to public videos, and access to the Eerie Isles interactive Google map with countless sighting and encounter locations for you to peruse at your leisure. This will be updated each time a new video is released and will become one of the most comprehensive encounters maps in the world. With membership options from as little as £1 per month. What are you waiting for? Head over to the vault. Plenty of circles are human-made. Artists admit to using boards and string and GPS to create them, but the more elaborate designs do raise some questions. Those with stalks bent at the node and not broken, which suggests heat rather than pressure. Those with no visible tracks in or out. Magnetic and radiation anomalies recorded inside some circles, and in these cases we're dealing with geometry laid out on a scale that absolutely defies overnight human effort, at least without some sort of military level equipment. And a bit of caution for those who might be tempted to make their own crop circles. Despite their allure, they are essentially acts of trespass and criminal damage.
I'm rather pleased that thousands of people have found an interest and an enjoyment from it. I hope no one ever gets caught doing it. We had some narrow squeaks, but I appreciate the fact that lots of people are more or less depending on this now for their interest. I suppose really it's a kind of religion, but I've got nothing against these people and what they've made of it.
There have been a few arrests over the years. Robin Allen and George Meredith in '92 were arrested near Beckhampton with circle-making tools. Charges were dropped, however, due to a lack of direct evidence. Michael Reed in '98, detained near Devizes, released after police couldn't link him to the formation. Lundberg and Dickinson, who were circle makers, publicly admitted to fabricating circles for media campaigns, but were not prosecuted. And two teenagers in 2004 were cautioned after being caught in a field at night. Thousands of formations, barely a dozen charges, very few convictions. To make a basic crop circle, you'd need wooden planks with rope handles, you'd need measuring tapes and stakes and string, surely some sort of night vision equipment, some quiet footwear and a lot of stealth. Advanced makers use GPS units and CAD printouts, laser pointers and radios for team coordination, but even with all this, making a 200-foot fractal with perfect node compressions, no visible tracks, and electromagnetic anomalies thrown in. It's another matter entirely, surely.
We wanted to make the UFO societies think that a UFO had landed, you see. And after a few years, they didn't know whether to believe it or not.
It's an obvious, it's absolutely obvious. This here, you see, it's not consistent at all with the genuine phenomenon.
I just don't believe them, no.
Absolutely beautiful.
There's no traffic, there's no human beings, there's no nothing. There's a full moon in the sky, lovely starry night.
With your cheese rolls and your beer, what's better?
If we entertain the idea that not all crop circles are made by humans, then the question becomes, what else could be responsible? And really, why would they even bother? Is it extraterrestrial messaging, using geometry as a universal language? Are these Earth energies expressing through geomagnetic stress or something, or interdimensional intelligences experimenting with the dimensions of our reality? Is it secret military tech testing precision deployment systems? But why crops? Why not broadcast your message on TV or beam it into orbit like the bat signal? Crops are visible, they're passive, they won't offer any resistance, will they? They're not threatening. They offer essentially a blank slate. They are vast and silent, easy to work with at scale, and more importantly, they offer a blank slate, don't they? Just like the beach does and just like the snow does. Vast and silent and pliable to work with. But why maths? And what is the message? Well, maths is the language of physics, and physics is the language of the universe, so the reason for putting maths in your communications seems quite simple and well understood, doesn't it? But why in crops? Why are the messages not directed to where the mathematicians are? And what are they? Are they instructions for something? Are they warnings? Are they provocations asking us to look closer? Are they collaboration requests? There's no key to interpreting them, is there? Whatever they are, they're designed to be noticed. Noticed by farmers and pilots and satellites, if you think about it actually. And by thinkers like us. Whether the source is an alien, whether it's natural or esoteric, the message might just be this: look, question, and think. Researchers still debate the origin, natural, human, or unknown, but what's indisputable is the maths. Iterations of pi, fractals, golden ratios, polar symmetry, harmonic scaling, whether it's a signal, a symbol, or some sort of weird software. If you want to entertain the simulation hypothesis for a few moments, then these formations are speaking in numbers. Is it art? Is it a hoax? Is it intelligence? We don't know. But something is asking us loudly and precisely to pay attention.